The meaning of friendship in adversity. Friendship is a precious gift from God, especially in times when we are in difficult circumstances. When Job lost all his property, children, and was hurt physically and mentally, his 3 friends Eliphaz, Bildad and Zophar came to comfort him. The Bible records in Job 2:11, when the 3 friends of Job heard about all the disasters that had befallen him, they immediately came from their place and they made an appointment to meet to express their sympathy and comfort him. In the darkest times, friends can be a ray of hope. Although unable to solve all problems, their presence can ease the pain. Job, despite falling into despair, also received initial consolation from this friendship. Are you a reliable friend in other people's tribulations? Are you willing to walk with them, even though the road is thorny? Silence is the language of sympathy. When he came to Job, 3 friends sat next to him for 7 days and 7 nights without saying a word. Job 2:13 records. They sat on the ground with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to him, because they found his pain too great. This silence is a symbol of deep sympathy. In many cases, words cannot express all the pain or bring healing. What Job needs most is not advice, but the companionship, the presence of sincere friends. In life, when facing the suffering of others, we often try to say something to comfort, but sometimes, silence is the greatest way to express sympathy. It shows that we are willing to be there, listen, and share the pain sincerely. Have you ever chosen to be silent to sympathize instead of giving advice? Can you become a friend who always listens without judgment? When friendship is beyond words, true friendship is not only expressed through words of encouragement or material help, but also through companionship in silence. This requires patience and deep love. The actions of Job's 3 friends remind us of the value of a relationship built on sympathy and understanding. Although they later had incorrect words, but initially, their presence and silence made Job feel support. Are you building a relationship based on sincerity and sympathy? Are you willing to sacrifice time to accompany your loved ones when they need it most? Learn how to be a friend like Jesus. Jesus, the most faithful friend, showed complete love when he suffered on the cross for us. The friendship that Jesus shows is a model for us to follow: love, forgiveness, companionship, and sacrifice. When we are friends with others, we are called to reflect God's love, a love that does not require conditions, does not leave in tribulation, and is always ready to listen. Become a true friend. Spend time with those who are suffering. Even if you don't know what to say, learn to listen more and talk less. Let your presence be a consolation for them. Follow the Apostle Lucifer channel to discover more lessons about faith and how to live to overcome challenges. Wrong advice. Eliphaz only mistakes Job for when advice becomes a burden. In Job 4, Eliphaz, one of Job's 3 friends, spoke up. He gave an advice based on the belief that suffering is the result of sin. Eliphaz said, "Think about it. Is there anyone who is innocent to be wiped out? Is there anyone who is upright to be destroyed?" Job 4:7. With this view, Eliphaz implies that Job is being punished for his sins. Eliphaz's words were not consolation, but criticism, which hurt Job even more. In moments of suffering, what Job needed was not accusation or judgment, but sympathy and comfort. It's sad that a close friend becomes the reason why Job feels even more lonely and hopeless. Have you ever accidentally hurt others because of words at the wrong time? Reflect and learn how to use words to heal, not to cause more pain. Misunderstanding of suffering. Eliphaz believed that all suffering was caused by sin, but he forgot that God had a plan to go beyond human understanding. Suffering is not always a punishment, but sometimes a challenge to refine faith. Eliphaz's criticism represents a narrow way of thinking, where people try to explain suffering with their limited lens. However, God is fair. He sees the big picture and works to make a good plan for each person. Are you willing to believe in God's plan, even if you don't understand the reason behind the challenges? Learn to listen without judgment. Eliphaz may have had good intentions when he wanted to help Job, but he failed to listen. Instead of understanding his friend's pain, he hurriedly gave advice and judgment. This reminds us that empathy does not lie in what to say, but in the way we are present next to others. Silence is sometimes worth more than 1,000 words. When your friends are suffering, learn to listen with all your heart, instead of trying to give advice immediately. Are you a good listener or just giving advice without understanding the problem? Job's suffering and faithfulness. Despite being criticized and judged by his friends, Job remained steadfast in his faith. He did not give up on God, but continued to seek an explanation from him. Job teaches us that, even when faced with hurtful words, we need to put our faith in God, because He is the true source of comfort. Concession: learn from Eliphaz's mistakes. Eliphaz's actions are a lesson for us to be careful with our words. Before giving advice, make sure you understand the circumstances and feelings of others. Learn to listen and let love guide your words. Are you willing to become a friend who always brings comfort, instead of hurting others more? Follow the Apostle Lucifer channel to discover more lessons about faith and how to live to overcome challenges. Friendship needs understanding and timely criticism. 1. Friendship and understanding. True friendship is not only a companion in happy moments, but also a support in difficult days. Job 2:11 tells that Job's 3 friends Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar came to comfort him during the tribulation. They sat quietly next to Job for 7 days and 7 nights without saying a word, just to share his pain. This is a beautiful image of empathy. Sometimes, in moments of suffering, what people need is not words, but presence. Understanding does not come from talking a lot, but from listening, from being present without judgment. Are you willing to be a friend who understands, listens and shares instead of rushing to make judgments? 2. And timely criticism. When Job lamented about his pain, instead of sympathizing, 3 friends criticized him. Eliphaz, the first to speak out, criticized Job based on the belief that suffering was caused by sin. He said, "Think about it. Is there anyone who is innocent to be eradicated?" Job 4:7. These words were not comfort, but blame that made Job even more painful. In life, there are times when we accidentally become Eliphaz critical, when we do not understand other people's stories, and timely judgments can leave deep wounds in the listener's heart. Are your words a healing tool or a knife tip that hurts? 3. The value of empathy. True friendship requires empathy. This means entering other people's worlds, feeling their pain and accompanying them, even without saying a word. Eliphaz and 2 friends failed at this point. Instead of sympathizing, they choose to condemn. Instead of sharing, they choose to explain. Empathy does not require flowery words, but requires a heart that knows how to listen. Sometimes, just be present. Take your friend's hand and let them know that you are there. This is more powerful than any words. 4. God is the most understanding friend. Although friends may fail to understand, God is always the most faithful companion. He not only heard Job's laments, but also accompanied him in pain. God knows every tear, every sigh, and every silent prayer of ours. Believe that, even when you feel the loneliest, God is always by your side. He is the perfect source of comfort and healing that no one can replace. Are you ready to let God become a refuge in the times you need it most? 5. Concision. Be the light in friendship. Friendship is a precious gift from God, but it requires patience, understanding, and compassion. Don't rush to judge, learn to listen. Let your words and actions become a source of strength for others, instead of hurting them more. Follow the Apostle Lucifer channel to discover more profound lessons about friendship, faith, and life.